And what is going down, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the very first episode of what we hope will be many of our new monthly segment that we have officially dubbed Kickin' It with Kaval. It is Corporal RFA, the boss man, and of course joining us today for this first episode on phone is of course Oakland A's team president Dave Kaval. Dave, what's going down, man?
Hey, not much. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, no problem, no problem. Thank you. We know you're a busy man. You have a very crazy schedule, I know, these days, trying to get so much done, but we really appreciate you stopping by.
Oh, it's great to be here. It's great to talk to your fans and get the word out on all the great things that are going on with the A's.
Definitely. So this is right now, because everybody's gonna want to just dive in, want to ask, what's currently happening right now with the front office in relations to the ballpark and things of that nature?
Well, one of the big pieces of news is we're moving the entire front office down to Jack London Square. And so in January, we're going to be moving downtown. We're going to have our entire operations in one place. Right now, we're split over the arena and the ballpark. And it's going to be a great way to have a more fan-forward, visible location in the heart of Oakland, really feed on the vibrancy that the city has right now. And it should be a great thing. So that happens in January, and we're pretty fired up about it. And it's a great lead into our Fan Fest on the 27th of
Dave,
January.
just one quick question, obviously, to kind of piggyback a little bit to when the announcement was made on September 13th for a couple of our listeners maybe who've been away for a while. Just what basically led down to ultimately selecting the Peralta site as the preferred site for the new stadium?
Well, we looked at the final three options, and we wanted a site that was walkable to the downtown core, that was close to public transportation, the BART station, 0.3 of a mile, that was really in the heart of Oakland. Because that's a location where we're going to have people who are working and living in downtown, biking and walking to the ballpark, creating a vibrant urban setting similar to AT&T Park in San Francisco. And that's going to ensure our long-term success. Not only are we going to draw a bigger crowd, be able to invest in our players, but it's going to have a very positive impact on the community.
I'm glad you talked about people coming from work from the downtown sector or what have you, or maybe even San Francisco's downtown, because I work in downtown Oakland now, and there's a lot of A's fans in the building where I work at, and the conversation came up recently about the ballpark, and they were talking about the negative detractors, because I'm pretty sure you've read the articles. Ignacio De La Fuente claiming that the topography there won't allow for you to build there. And you have Chris Dobbins, a good friend of the show's, who's really, I guess, advocating the Coliseum. And they're saying from the last JPA meeting that they want to try to convince you guys to relook at the Coliseum. Could you kind of touch on that? Because there's a lot of negativity out there. Well, I don't want to say a lot, but there's some. There's obviously opposition to it, but what do you guys at the A's front office with John Fisher and everybody, what do you guys say to those type of things?
Well, I think one reason we set up a process where we're going to take a year on the front end before we define what the project scope is we want to get people's input in this type of project. This is a huge deal for Oakland. This is the biggest project probably in the history of the city. And it's something that can't be decided just by the A's or even just by the city. Everyone, all the stakeholders need to weigh in on how it's built, what it includes, whether that includes some kind of housing component, whether that includes retail options, bars, restaurants, all the different things that could make it a vibrant kind of centerpiece of the city. Those are a lot of changes, and that can't be done overnight, and we need to make sure we get good buy-in and support from folks.
Oh, I do.
And I think it's really important. I'm actually happy that people have a strong point of view because they care, guys. They care about where this city's going. They care about keeping the A's here. And I know that together we can come up with some good ideas to move forward.
Definitely. Speaking of good ideas, because on my Facebook page, I asked people what would they like to ask you. And this comes from a guy, Oakland resident, John Flint. He's asking about what type of, jerseys that maybe say Oaktown on them, but something that's paying homage to the East Bay. And at the local stadium, will you have local kind of mural art, though, that kind of, is symbolic of the city in this area?
Yeah, the new ballpark, it even extends to the Coliseum while we're still there. we want to make sure that we do everything we can to make it as Oaklandish as possible. Like everything that we do, whether it's a mural, whether it's the food options, whether it's the architecture, really evokes the unique nature of our community. So that's a key theme. We're definitely going to do that. And I think there's a lot of ways to do that, and we're very excited about it.
Dave, I also have a question that kind of pertains to the whole jersey as well. This is coming from a good friend of ours, Dan Pagan. You might know him. He's one of the OGs from over in the left field bleachers. Dan was basically asking about the possibility of maybe, if not maybe this year, maybe in the future, maybe a Sunday alternate where kind of maybe based off of the Oakland Oaks jersey, possibly. Is that something maybe you can see going down, or is there any ideas for any new alternates? I know you mentioned that y'all are going to be debuting a new alternate, but just some ideas for possible.
We are debuting a new alternate for this season for the 50th anniversary. But I like your idea about the Oaks. I think that's a cool part of our history. We want to incorporate that at the new ballpark with the museum and a Hall of Fame. And it's not just the Oakland A's, but just the history of baseball in this region and the great players like Willie Stargell and Frank Robinson and Ricky Henderson have come from this area, and the great teams like from the Pacific Coast League. So that certainly is a key part of the history that we want to celebrate, and I think that's a great idea.
Okay, Dave. Well, now what types of and this comes from a good friend of ours, Oaktown Jules. What types of community events would you be willing to join? I guess the people in and get involved with.
You mean for the ballpark development?
Just period. I guess just ingratiating yourself inside the community.
Yeah. Absolutely. Like, we're trying to start foundation. Zach Cohen, who was with the Warriors, has come over to lead it as the executive director. We've enhanced the number of events that we're doing, which we're very excited about. We're redoing new fields all around Oakland, sponsoring local elementary and high schools, and working with the Oakland Unified School District. So we're really dramatically expanding our efforts, especially in Oakland, and we're always open to new suggestions. So if folks want to email at president@athletics.com and come up with other ways that we can support their community groups, whether it's fundraising or a banquet or auction items, we're happy to support that.
I have a question here from a good friend of mine, Dan Shibley Jr., who is actually one of several A's fans that work down at Disneyland that rock the green and gold. And he's also one of several people that have asked me this question for the last couple of weeks now. Is there any time frame on when the fans might be able to possibly see a possible, obviously not finalized rendering, but some sort of a rendering of what the new stadium can possibly look like, so that way people can start slowly getting an idea of how this is going to work on the Peralta site? Has there been any discussion about that yet?
Yeah, we've been working with our design team that, we announced about, I think we announced it about a month ago. And so the design team is working on the ballpark, how it fits into the urban landscape, and that is in motion. And so I don't have a specific date when that's going to happen, but it is something that we're working towards. We want to make sure that it's designed appropriately and that it's done in a way that people feel that it is the ballpark of the 21st century, that we have a new type of design that people are excited about, that reflects the unique nature of Oakland, that connects with the neighborhoods, that connects with the channel that's right there where you're going to be hitting baseballs into the water. How cool is that going to be? And so, yes, that's a key priority, and we're working on that day in, day out.
Now, Dave, this is a question that always comes up, and it's been something that's been burning at A's fans' hearts, let's say for the last 20-something years. What are we going to do now about keeping our young players? Because Ryan Healy, who people really liked and had a lot of power, was just recently traded up to the Northwest, to Seattle, and people are starting to wonder, is this the same old A's where we let our young players go? Is this just the same run-of-the-mill? Are we being played again? So kind of touch on that to kind of ease some people's fears about the future of the A's and these young players that we have here currently.
Well, the whole key to the ballpark and why we're building it is so we can have the money to sign the young players and have them here 10 or 12 years, as opposed to having kind of more of a revolving door of players. So that's the North Star. That's why we're building the ballpark. That's why it's our number one priority. And I think the Ryan thing, obviously, he was been a great player with us, and it's sad to see him go. But by the same token, we have other younger players, Chapman, Olsen, who who we feel that are really the nucleus of an amazing team that we can field for many years to come. And those are the types of players we want to lock in and sign for long-term contracts. So someone can go out and buy a Matt Chapman jersey and know that they can have it for 6, 7, 8 years through a great run. And so that's definitely a priority, and it's something that's very important for us.
Dave, of course, as you know, both myself, Bossman, we're both former students of Laney College. And obviously, we have a lot of, talked to a lot of people that either are Laney alumni or current students, former students, and also connections to teachers there as well. What exactly have you guys discussed about doing as far as trying to keep everyone that basically at Laney is against this and trying to help maybe bring them over into the picture to support the project or help try to get them off of the fence to be a little bit more engaged in the process?
Well, I think it's laying out the benefits and understanding what are the things at Laney or at Peralta that, potentially could be enhanced by the project, whether that's new infrastructure, which could be classrooms, whether that's new student or faculty housing, which we're looking at, which I think could be really powerful for that community, whether it's pedestrian safety and open space and facilities for their athletic team. And so those are all possibilities with the project. And we've spent a great deal of time with the Peralta Federation of Teachers, with the Classified Senate, with the administration there, understanding their needs, understanding where things are challenging, to see if we could find a way through that and get them excited about the project. And I think we understand their concerns. I think their concerns are all valid. I think they have a lot of current situations that are difficult, and we're hopeful that our project can help solve those and create a better future for Laney College and the Peralta College.
Now, Oakland City Council Chairman Larry Reed was recent, I guess in the paper as well, saying that, or at least it was probably on Twitter, I guess from the last JPA meeting. I don't know if you're aware of it, but he said that in conversation with you that that there was a claim that you guys wouldn't be able to privately finance at the Coliseum or something, and he was kind of, I don't know, because Larry Reed comes with a lot of controversy for a whole myriad of reasons, but he's basically kind of calling a BS on your claim of that, though, that he didn't believe you. I don't know what that was about. I've never heard that, but do you have any idea what he's talking about?
Well, I think the key thing is that if you look at the Coliseum property, and I'm here right now, I'm looking at the ballpark, I'm looking at the arena. This location is, everything built here has been done with public dollars. Mount Davis, everything. This is a publicly financed location. And so we've had clear direction from the city that there is not public money for this new ballpark effort. So we've come up with a plan that's privately financed, that we're paying for it completely ourselves, and it's at Peralta. And so we don't really want to go down the road of public financing because, I don't think that's something that's really going to work in the city. The past examples have kind of been a failure. The Coliseum has over $100 million in debt from the last effort in that area. And so we want to make sure that we have a fiscally responsible plan for the citizens of Oakland that enhances the city as opposed to putting it in a more difficult financial position.
Okay, well, so now let's just talk baseball, because we're all baseball fans.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Exactly. We got to get through all of the lame, boring stuff, but let's talk baseball. After seeing the last month or month and a half of the season, your young squad was able to fight a lot of adversity and actually show there's drastic improvements. What do you in the A's front office forecast for the 2018 season, starting with the winter meetings and I guess some off-season signings or trades or what have you? What are you envisioning? What is the plan for 2018?
Well, one is to really make an effort to sign some of these young players long-term. I think that'd be a great signal to our fan base and to the community and the other players. So that's priority one. And then the second priority is to make sure we put enough quality players around them so they can develop in a meaningful way. And that means helping the bullpen, and you've seen that with Billy and David going out and shoring up the bullpen and making sure that the team is going to be as competitive as possible throughout the season. And so I think those are the things that you will see. We have a great nucleus with Chapman, Olson, Chris Davis continues to hit bombs all over the place. And so you see this amazing core of talent. You see the young pitching, too, that I think can really start developing the starting pitching in a positive way. And we're very optimistic about having a season that builds on the success of the end of last year.
What are your thoughts on some of us possibly seeing Jorge Mateo up on the team this year?
I think it's certainly possible. I mean, it's going to depend on, there's a lot of competition for spots, as you know. And that's a good thing. That actually pushes players. That means that you actually are really focused and working as hard as possible. But I think that's certainly a possibility, and we'll see kind of how it goes. And you have to make sure not to rush these guys because, you know, if you do, sometimes you can stunt their long-term growth. But he's a great talent, and we're really happy to have him in the system.
Dave, the A's recently were linked to the Japanese superstar Otani. I can't pronounce his first name, but
Otani. Otani.
Yeah. So what's that about though? Because that's kind of it's kind of breaking the mold of of the A's that we know the last 2 decades, going after a guy who would command a lot of attention and frankly would command a lot of money. What's kind of the thought process you guys are having with him?
Well, you know, I think he's such a generational talent that we felt, you know, when working with Billy and David, that we needed to put a strong bid in for him and see what would happen. Because, you know, there's really nothing to lose to see if you can get to the table with him. And it didn't work out. He's looking at another team, but I think that process and learning from that will be important as we continue to build our team in the future and understanding, you know, how to go after bigger players like that. We're going to need that over time as we continue to develop our young nucleus, because you'll want to put other players around it. So we're happy about being involved in that. I think it's an important kind of sea change in terms of our perspective and what we're doing. And we're very excited about basically what we did in terms of moving forward with that.
Of course, as we all know, 2018 will mark the 50th anniversary of the A's in Oakland. Kind of a funny coincidence. I just realized after 13 years, by the way, that my wedding anniversary falls on the day of the first game ever played in Oakland. What exactly?
Good thinking. I like it.
Definitely. I mean, obviously, we already know you guys have the free game planned out for the 17th. What exactly else do you guys have planned thus far for the 50th anniversary? And as a lot of people have also been asking myself and Boss, when are we going to start seeing some of the 50th anniversary gear on sale?
Very soon, hopefully by FanFest. You know, we're obviously going to have an amazing celebration this year for our 50th. We're really excited about, you know, what it means to this community. We have so many great players to honor, so many great eras, whether it's the Finley era, you know, the late 80s, Moneyball, even the Billy Martin era. I think it's fun to kind of celebrate. There's so many great episodes in that part of our history. And so we're going to do everything we can to make a big party of it. You know, obviously we're going to have an amazing opening day as well as an opening night celebrating the 50 best players in the history of the club. We have the book that just came out. So I think it's just going to be a tremendous year and one that people will never forget.
Dave, we talk so much about this stadium, the team. What about the man, Dave Kaval? Man, besides running around talking with us crazy A's fans and talking with the politicians around here, what does Dave Kaval do in his spare time? What does Dave Kaval like to do, man?
I got to tell you, I love the barbecue. I got the smoker in my backyard. I get the brisket going. I get the pulled pork going, pork butt. That's probably one of my favorite things. And, you know, also just going, you know, I went to Stanford University. I go to all the Stanford football games.
Oh, God. Here he goes. Here he goes.
I had to say, I know you're a Cal guy probably. But I'm saying, so, you know, a little Pac-12 football, a little barbecue. That keeps me safe.
It's funny because I actually thought about emailing you the week of the big game just as a joke and was going to say, but by the way, what are your thoughts on us possibly taking back the axe from y'all? But I'm actually glad I didn't email. I'm glad I didn't send that email to you.
That's funny.
Dave, I just want to know, since you like to cue it up, man, when are we going to be over for a barbecue? I want to see your skills, man. You know, I really want to taste the flavor.
We're going to make it happen. You know what I was thinking is I might bring my thing over maybe at Championship Plaza. I'll get that thing out there, my 22-inch Weber Smoky Mountain. We'll get it going.
Oh, man, there you go right there. Hey.
Overnight. Yeah, we're ready for that, baby. I got some good, get some pork butts going, maybe a brisket. Be fantastic. Get some ribs. Ribs is my favorite.
Dave, just to touch back on baseball a bit, what did you think when you saw during the MLB postseason, when you saw the Houston Astros make their epic run towards the World Series title? What were the immediate thoughts you had as pertaining to your team and what you want to see for the future? Do you see any similarities, things you would do different or what have you?
Well, I think you saw a couple of things. One, you saw, a skipper in AJ Hinch who really did a great job developing young players, and I think we have a similar thing with Bob Melvin. And then secondly, you saw that they committed to their young stars. They built everything around them, even if it took some tough years to kind of get them up to speed. And that commitment led to a World Series championship. So it's amazing to see it. It's a great community that was really dealing with a lot of hardship with the hurricane. It was amazing to see everyone come together and win that championship, and I was really proud for our partners down there, to the city of Houston, and for all those great players, Altuve, Correa, Springer. I mean, really, it was a really fun team to watch this year.
Speaking of fun, Dave, I have to say it, and I told you this off air before, but how fun was it to get on that boat and travel the estuary all the way across the bay to AT&T Park and basically just stake your claim that the A's are here and they're going nowhere? I mean, how fun was that? Because I'm thinking, I wish Dave would have told me, because next year I want to be on that boat right with you, man, taking over AT&T
I know,
Park.
right? I would have rather been in the boat than in the stadium.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got to tell you, I had so much fun. That was a highlight of my first year as president. Had an amazing time. It was so exciting to, be coming across the water at the Oakland Police boat right in front of us with the sirens going. Stomper on the other boat with the T-shirt cannon. So, we want to make that a tradition, the McCovey Coast Takeover, and we'd be happy to have you guys on the boat.
Oh, cool.
Oh boy. Dave, I guess we'll go ahead and we'll make this be the last question, because I'm pretty sure you got a lot to do the rest of the day. Just to piggyback the stuff as far as with the ballpark, what can fans do to get involved, help out with the process, and basically kind of serve as a way to help get the word out about things with the stadium, so that way we can help try to bring more support into the process?
Yeah, I think the number one thing for folks to do is get involved and volunteer and join our fan groups like the Roots movement that actually attend city council meetings and Peralta board meetings, and that's out there advocating for the project, because people have a lot of different views, and the community needs to know that Oakland residents care for the A's and want to see this privately financed ballpark go, and it's a success. And so if you go to oaklandballpark.com, you can register, you can get all the emails and understand when the events, we have monthly events, getting everyone together and understand everything that's happening in the process. So we would love additional support from our fans.
And this is boss. This is my last question. And it actually comes from a good friend of our the shows. I think you guys seen him dress up at one of the games. He's part of Forever Oakland. Joey Simons, Raider Maniac, but he was Athletic Maniac that night. But he was asking about the 2018 November elections for mayor. How close are the A's watching it, and would you support a grassroots candidate such as maybe Godfather Grizz Jones?
Well, we usually don't take a position on any one candidate. We always love a good open dialogue in Oakland about the different political leaders, and that's obviously a positive thing for any city and any community. And we wish everyone the best in carrying forward a platform and whatever plan they have for the city. That's very exciting.
That's a great answer, Dave. I got to tell you that. You were real savvy. That's a smooth answer.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's really fun.
Oh, we'll look forward to doing it next month, man.
Great. Can't wait.
Thank you again for joining us, Dave. Episode 1 of Kickin' It with Kaval is in the books, ladies and gentlemen. We will definitely look forward to joining you again and doing this again next month. Thank you again, Dave.
All right. Take care, guys.